Hi guys, Dave here from Wolf in the Wild Survival. I got a new thing, kind of, that I wanted to share with you guys. A little while ago I did a winter camp, and I was kind of messing around with a shelter idea that it kind of took me a while to kind of sort of get it right, but when I got it right, it was great. It was, in a lot of ways, it was better than a tent. It was really, really good. I liked it a lot. So, I built a kit. That kit is solely based around the whole idea of putting that shelter up. It's more of an overnight thing. Now, it's sort of two elements added into this idea. I have my instant base camp. Okay, this got way bigger than it was ever supposed to be. This was supposed to be small, compact, and lightweight. It's not anymore. It's really not. But you can do so much stuff with this. You can set up a base camp with this and then satellite camp with this perfectly. So, not necessarily a companion kind of thing, but it does mesh well together. So this is a quick camp, kind of. Whereas, this started out, it was supposed to be this kind of concept. Also, my lightweight rig, just a vest full of all the things that I would need to go on a camp trip for like 3 to 5 days. Now this has like cooking and kind of everything. This is more than one night. This, on the other hand, one night. Now, before I get into it, I will say, if you're buying a vest kind of like this, get one size bigger than you actually need, because once you fill it full of stuff, it doesn't fit too well. So, I probably look ridiculous wearing this thing right now, and I will get a different vest that fits better now that I know. But yeah, okay. So let's dig in, and actually, first of all, I will show you sort of what we're working with here. Some pockets, and then in the back is almost like a little backpack kind of thing, and that's where the majority of the shelter goes. So, like, all in all, it's not bad. It could be one size bigger, honestly, and it fits when it's empty. It just doesn't fit too well with all the stuff. So, let's take a seat and do this. Okay. We'll start with the back part. If you saw the winter camp video that I did, you'll notice that, like, I kind of played around with configurations a fair bit. And I really did need two kind of grabber blankets or tarps or whatever, because the large, like, polyethylene tarps they're just way too big and bulky. But the grabber blankets or the sport blankets just weren't quite big enough. And to put a really nice, like, expensive sil nylon tarp might not necessarily be the best idea, because you're so close to a fire. I burnt holes all through those tarps. So I had to replace them. And that may be a trend. If you're that close to a fire, it might be inevitable. So what I did is I went and I grabbed a couple of the I took them out of the packaging, and they're grabber blankets. And this is not my Get Lost bag, so not everything is in blaze orange. This is sort of designed to somewhat blend in with the surroundings. And I really can't remember, like, what brand name this is, but it's got webbing all around the edges. It's got reinforced corners with the grommets, and it's got reflective inside. So I grabbed two, and I shoved them in the back here, as well as the drum liners, the contractor bags, drum liners. Now, I could only find 3mm drum liners. 6mm are ideal. Before I found 5, but now all I can seem to find is 3. Nobody has anything bigger than 3. And then paracord in the very bottom. Now, if you saw the video, you'll know I didn't even get my complete campsite set up, everything that was in that bag, because I ran out of paracord. So there's actually extra paracord in this kit. So I sort of sandwiched the contractor bags in, because it just works better that way. I jam it in there. Now, and this is why it doesn't fit very well, because before the back could kind of mold around me, whereas now these things here kind of keep it fairly rigid and doesn't mold around my my contours anymore. So try to, you get a bigger size than you think you're going to need, you'll be ahead of the game. Now, here, more paracord. So I probably don't need 200 feet of paracord, because I don't have like everything that I do in the Get Lost bag. But you know what? I ran out before, and I was like kind of bummed out, because I really wanted to show you guys all the capabilities of that bag, and I couldn't. So better safe than sorry. Beside that, I have a cheaper version of the saw that I keep in my Get Lost bag. It's just a small folding saw. And this is what I had in the Get Lost bag before I put the Silky Pocket Boy in. And the Pocket Boy is awesome. It is a beast. This thing here is still a pretty good saw, and it cost me $4. And I have used it a fair bit. It still does a pretty good job. It probably won't hold an edge or cut that well as long as the Silky will, but for $4, not bad at all. Not bad. Okay, and oh, did I put anything? No, I didn't put anything in there yet, but that's going to be I can't remember what I was going to. I had a thought to do with that. Can't remember. Maybe you guys have some suggestions if you want to, leave them in the comments. It's a small pocket. It won't even hold my smartphone. It's a very small pocket. And then lastly, up at the top here, I have the Camillus Titanium. Now, most of you know that 9 times out of 10, if I'm out in the woods, I have my buck, Selkirk. And I probably will every single time I ever go out to use this thing. But a backup knife is never really a bad idea. And if you'll remember, this was given to me by a subscriber, Frank D. He sent me a box of goodies, and there is a video of that unboxing. All in all, it's a pretty good, cheaper backup knife, so that, I don't know, just in case. And it needed a home. It needed a home. I didn't want it to just sit in a box or a drawer or, kind of whatever. If somebody, is nice enough to gift something to me like that, I at least want them to see it, or, in the videos, or me using it, or kind of whatever. So that's where it's found a home. All right, on to the other side. Up the very top, I just picked up a Coghlan's waterproof flint striker and quick tinder kit. So it fits perfectly in this little pocket that I would normally put a compass in there, and this fits perfectly. So I haven't tried it. This is actually the first time I'm opening it. Okay, those quick tinders don't really have much of a smell at all. They don't smell like they're got much in them. And a quick waterproof striker. I don't even know if there would be fluid in this or not, to be honest. I think there should be, but I might have known better than to buy something from Coghlan's, but it. Okay, but you know what? These tinder, I could probably strike down and set one on fire anyway, but yeah, that doesn't really work. But I don't see a. I'm gonna have to check out the instructions and see what kind of. I'd probably Zippo fluid, probably. But yeah, first time actually opening this thing. Good thing I'm not out in the woods testing it. Although if I was out in the woods, I would have my AV belt on, and I've got a monster ferro rod on it as well. So, all right, 2 little pockets up here. One of them completely empty. Haven't actually put anything in there yet, but what I do want, as soon as I find it, is a small knife sharpener. It's going to go in this pocket. The next one has a little flashlight. It's not super bright, but it will help out. It will kind of get the job done. So, sharpening stone and little flashlight. That's what's going there. And then here, the big pocket, I picked up just a cheap Ouchie Boo Boo first aid kit. It's always a good idea to have at least that. At least. And I mean, you know, a lot of you guys have watched some of my videos. I can't seem to do anything without hurting myself. So, you know, first aid kit, always, every time. Whenever you're going out to do something where you're going to be messing around with knives and swinging axes and, you know, kind of whatever, always have a first aid kit, even if it is a bare bones minimum. And then for a water filter, I got the Katadyn Be-Free, I think it was. Yeah. So basically it's a bag that holds a liter of water and then like a small sort of mini version of Katadyn filter. Now, I can't imagine finding many containers that will fit onto. So if the bag rips for some reason, you're probably going to be SOL. But it's not like thin, you know, like it feels like it's pretty quality. And I've used the Katadyn Hiker Pro in my backpack for years, and I love it. I think it's great. So I'm giving this a try. But I'm also going to be checking out like a lot of other bottles. Oh, wow, it's almost like when you buy bottled water at the store, you have to pull the tab to, I don't know. Just trying to let all the air out so I can put this back properly. So that's the larger pocket. So I've got my fire, I've got my water, I've got my shelter, I've got some illumination, and I've got my cutting tool with, soon to be, as soon as I find it, I don't know where the heck I put it, but a small sharpener to keep my cutting tool cutting, and cordage, as well as cutting with the saw. So for an overnight kind of kit, to go and build that shelter that I did in that camp trip that I actually really liked, this definitely will be a pretty good overnight kind of thing. That's not going to work. So hopefully at some point, maybe in the late spring, I'll be able to go give that a try, and maybe upgrade it a little bit. I don't personally think it needs much. I could now, you know, I'm wearing a vest, right? I can take like a small duffel bag or even like a grocery bag, or I could just carry it in with, you know, like something to eat and some coffee and kind of whatever. I don't need like cooking and food in there. That's just for an overnight thing where I go in, I set up my camp, I, you know, kind of spend the night and kind of do whatever, and in the morning I pack up and I leave, and I don't really need a lot of food. I will need water because I will be, you know, cutting and lifting and dragging and, you know, working. But I don't actually need food in that. I can just bring whatever I want at that particular time for a small overnighter. So I like it. I think that's going to work out. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I really like that shelter setup, and I tried to have something with like the get home bag where you could do a quick shelter setup, where, you know, maybe you're in a bad situation and you're constantly on the move, so you can just set up, sleep, tear down, go. That's that, not the base camp. The base camp is just, it's it's turned into a whole nother beast. So it's a video that will be coming. It will be coming. So that's pretty much it. But like I say, if you have any suggestions about that smaller pocket, sound off in the comments and let me know what you think. There's a place for something. Might as well use it, right? See you guys in the next video. Have a good one.